Hello, hello. Hello, hello, everybody. I always start out with music, so groove with me. Hello. We'll get started in a little bit, just grooving right now. Hello. Hey, y'all. Yes. Sing, Beyonce. Ooh, y'all, I wish I could sing. Hello. Hey, Jay. Hey. Thank you, Erica. Hey. Hey, Michelle. Yes, you know how I do. Gotta get the party started. Yes, sing, Beyonce. I love that song. I love that song. Love that song. She was singing, y'all. Singing. You hear me? Let's do it. We're gonna start in a minute. We just getting the party started while we wait on Athena. It's gonna be a good conversation tonight. I am excited and I hope you are too. Hey, Barbara. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Hey, Nev. We'll get started in a second. Just waiting on Athena to join in. Get some more music lined up. Hey. I got a condo in Manhattan. This is my song, y'all. You and your ass invited, so gonna get to grab it. Go pop it for a plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. We'll start in a minute. Julio served that scary. You got it. I love Bruno Mars. I really do. If you want it now, jump in the Cadillac, girls, put some miles on it. Hey, Bree Bree. Y'all know how we do. We gonna dance. Dance. Hey. All right, there we go. I'm bringing you on, Athena. Hold on. Push the button.
How you doing? I miss you, boo.
I know I ain't seen you in forever. I missed you too. I know I just saw you. I did just see you. We didn't get a chance to talk though.
We was home.
Yeah. All right. Are you excited? How you feeling?
You already know I'm nervous.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a good time tonight, Tina. Get stuff set up. Woo! All right, so I'm excited. This is gonna be good. Okay, so before we get into all this goodness we're gonna talk about tonight, I want to start out with introductions.
Okay.
So for those who just tuned in, if you have never watched Relationship Conversations before, I am Siobhan Carter, the You Relationship Coach. And what that means is I am passionate about everything concerning relationships, especially the relationship with ourselves. So I love to talk about anything concerning relationships, especially when we're talking about love, because I feel like we don't have enough of these kind of conversations. We're inundated with so much negativity around relationships. So I just wanted to sprinkle a little love across the Facebook tonight. So, and who better to do it with than my sister Athena? So Athena, tell the people about you. Who are you?
Well, my name is Athena Carver. I met Siobhan about, how long was it? Maybe about 3 years
How long y'all
ago.
been married? 3
We
years?
in our third
Yep.
year. So I met Siobhan,
That's crazy.
like maybe like a couple of months before our wedding, because my favorite cousin Nefa, she married
Yes.
us, and she was just like, I'm not marrying you if y'all don't get this counseling. So that's how you and I even crossed paths. And to this day, I'm like so thankful. Like, that was the best thing that could have happened to us. I was really excited.
And that was amazing. That was so amazing. And let me be transparent. That was my first time doing, couples counseling or marriage counseling, anything. I'm passionate about it, but I had never done it. So when Neff reached out to me, I was like, oh my God, wait, I don't know what I'm doing. So I gathered all this stuff. I gathered all these resources, but it was the best experience. And what better to do it with? Thank you.
You did
I
so
really
well. Like,
appreciate it.
you wouldn't have even known that it was your first time.
It was. I thank the Lord, honey. God was with us in the midst of it. But it was such a beautiful experience, and that's why I wanted to have you on tonight, because I just enjoyed working with you all, and just the love that I could see, in your relationship. And I just wanted to be able for the people to see a little bit of that tonight. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hashtag love wins,
Love
because
wins.
it does. Love wins. So let's jump on into it, Athena. So tell us let's go all the way back from the beginning and walk us through this journey. So start with the beginning, before you even met your husband, Sean. Hey, Sean. Before you even met Sean, what was your relationship perspective like? Like, what had you gone through? What was going on before you met him?
Girl, it was a mess. Girl, it was a funky mess. Like, I was over relationships. I had basically just ran away as fast as I could from one. And that relationship itself, it was like, it was horrible. I can definitely say that I'm thankful for it now, because it led me like directly here. But no trust in males. I didn't trust myself.
Wow.
Huh?
I said, wow.
Yeah, I didn't trust myself. I've always been like a very, very passionate person. So anybody who knows me, if I love you and if you're in my circle, I really, really, really love you. Like, I give you everything that I have. And I was just completely broken and empty. Like, I didn't have anything to give, nor did I want to be in a relationship. I was still young. Well, let me go back, because I'm originally from Pittsburgh. I moved to the DMV. I was probably like 23 years old, and I'm 35 right now. So I've been down here for quite some time. So when I came down here, I wasn't looking for a relationship at all. So one of my first jobs that I got when I moved down here, that's where I met Sean at. So
Wow. So wait, before we even go there, let me put a pin right here, because I bet you there are some women who are watching this who can either identify with where you are because they've been there, or what you're talking about because they've been there, or they feel that right now. So I'm so grateful that you're sharing this, because like you said, just feeling broken, a lack of trust in not just men, but yourself. That's so key. So I just wanted to highlight that, because it's like, man, how many of us, are feeling that way, and just ready to give up on relationships. Like you said, not ready to get into another relationship and just really feeling broken as a result of our experiences. But yeah, so I just
Yeah,
wanted to
that's. I
highlight that
mean,
because
just to
yeah.
piggyback off of that,
Mm,
I literally had the mindset. Like, I'm not even afraid to admit it. Like, when I get down here, I'm gonna be a savage. I'm not having no boyfriend. I'm not gonna
wow.
let anyone tie me down. I'm just gonna, I was still young. I'm just gonna live my life and
Yeah.
have fun. So, looking for a relationship, that was like the last thing on my mind at that time.
Mm. I know that's right. Okay, well, go ahead. So you started the job, and
Okay,
that's where you
so
met
I
Sean.
started
So
the
tell us about
job
that.
and I met Sean. So,
Hmm.
I mean, you met him. Like, Sean is so sweet. He's so friendly.
Yeah.
Like, I immediately friend zoned him. Like, I immediately put him in the friend zone because he was too nice. He was so
Ooh.
nice. He was so
Yeah.
sweet. And I also worked, as we got to, work with each other a little bit longer, and we were all
Mhm.
friends at work. My cousin worked there.
Mhm.
So after a while, we would start hanging out all together as a group, hanging out at my
Mhm.
apartment, going out to eat, going bowling, like doing all types of group activities. Then
Mhm.
he just started calling just me, like
Yeah.
he's look
Yes,
back.
Sean.
That's when he started making his move. Like, before, it started out with like a group of 6, 7 of us, and then
Uh huh.
before you know it, I'm going out every weekend with him, like to the
What you say?
movies, to dinner. And mind you, the whole time, I still had little friends on the side because him and I were just friends. So
Right.
this whole friendship thing went on for at least about a year and a half. It was
Are you
friends for a
serious?
very long time.
Wait, Athena. Okay, wait. So I got. Okay, wait. So, so tell me what made you put him in the friend zone. I know you said he was too nice. Like, what was going on in your mind that said, friend zone?
I mean, friend zone. I worked with him, and
Mhm.
I moved down here in March. I probably
Mhm.
met Sean in May. So I'm
Okay.
definitely like, yeah, right. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
time for this. I work with
Yeah.
him if I'm not gonna be in a relationship because now it's 24/7. I was just
Yeah.
over it. Like, I literally was just
Oh,
over it.
wow. So a year and a half goes by, and it's like, did you, now that you look back on it, do you see any signs, like before he started individually reaching out to you, do you see any signs where he was trying to let you know that he wanted more?
Kinda. I mean, I
Yeah.
always knew. Like, as a woman, you know if a guy is
Yeah.
feeling you. And looking back, I was feeling him too, and I just was like in denial about it because the type of person that I am, if I'm over you, I'm
Yeah.
over you. Like, it's not no leeway. It's not no, hey girls. It's not no getting in a little bit. So looking back, I was feeling him too, but I was just
Mhm.
distracted with like everything that was going on. So I just wasn't
Yeah.
really feeling it. And then I remember, like, this is what I noticed instantly. When it was just him
Mhm.
and I, he was treating it like a date, like opening the doors for
I know
me.
that's right.
Like, because a guy never did that for me before, ever, up
Okay.
until him. So when he
Mhm.
was doing it, it was like, you corny. I definitely, you know what I mean? Like, back then, I thought it was corny. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
nothing to do. He is just too nice. Like, and back then, I
Wow.
was just so, my attitude, my personality, it was really brash. Like, it was really harsh. It was
Mhm.
abrupt and short.
Mhm.
So, I just couldn't even be mean to him like that. Like, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I just could not be mean to him and be like, I'm over it. It just kept going on
Wow.
and on and on. And then, like, my
Yeah.
friends started saying things like, I really like Sean. He always taking you places. Y'all always doing stuff. And then I started being like, these are dates that we're doing. Because
You were almost in denial about
yes,
it.
mind you, he's like, I'm going to dinner with him with t-shirt and jeans, sweatshirt, sneakers, because that's my
Yeah.
homeboy. Like, even though
Yeah.
he was making a move, we were really friends. Like, we really grew
Mhm.
a relationship where, like, we were talking about, I was sharing. He was, like, really my friend, like, my male friend.
Yeah, yeah. That's and I wanna talk about that because hello Donovan. Why you keep putting hello in the thing? Hey, hey. Um hello. And Tabitha has been chiming in. Looks like that's one of your close girlfriends
That
too.
is
So hey Tabitha
true.
girl. She was like, you knew that was your boo thing. Um but I wanna put a pin right here because I think there are a lot of us who do this because of our experiences, because of the treatment that we're not used to in past situations. We tend to put guys in a category like you said. He was just too nice because you hadn't been used to that kind of treatment. So, what would you say to a woman who may be encountering a man like that, that is different from the men that she's used to in her past? He's treating her with respect, opening doors, and she's just in her mind, can't wrap her mind around the fact that he's being nice because he's into her, or whatever your thoughts were.
I mean, you literally, like, I wish someone would have told me to just give him a chance. Honestly and truly,
Mm-hmm.
just give him a chance, because that's all you can do. It's kind of like trust, because a part of you holding back has a lot to do with you not trusting that person, but also not trusting yourself to make the right decisions.
Yeah,
Like, especially with trust, of course, it's like an ongoing process, but sometimes you just got to jump out there. And that's
yeah,
literally
yeah,
all you can do.
yeah.
Is
And that's the
don't
truth.
think too much about it. Like, don't get in your own way and just
Mm-hmm.
go for it. Like, I wish that, girl, we would have been married like 5, 6 years by now if I would have just, not if I would have just given him an honest
Yeah, yeah,
chance. And a lot of times we fear what we
yeah.
don't
But
know.
but you had to go through your process.
Mhm. I just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't ready
Yeah,
for it. Like, to be honest, I just
yeah,
wasn't ready
yeah,
to accept the love that he was giving me. I didn't know how to accept it because I never felt
yeah.
that before.
Wow, this is so good. This is so good because it almost feels foreign when
It
you haven't
is.
experienced that before. It's like you can't wrap your mind around it. You don't have any reference points, in your past to tell you like,
Mhm.
hey, this is okay. So it's almost like you have to fight through it to receive it. So tell us about that. I know we just going off the stuff that I sent you, but
It's
tell us
okay.
about that. Was there an internal fight? Was there? How did you get to the point of just accepting the love from him?
Okay. It it was like bits and pieces. I will say that. And looking back, now that
Okay.
I'm like more
Mhm.
mature and I'm aware of myself, it had nothing to do
Yeah.
with him at all. It had everything to do with me,
Wow.
because I wasn't ready to accept the love. I didn't feel like I deserved to be treated nice like that. I
Wow.
really, like, looking back, I just feel like I was carrying myself in a way like I didn't deserve it. So,
Wow.
and then
Wow.
on top of it, just to go back to it being foreign, when something is
Mhm.
foreign, it makes you doubt it. Like, this is
Mm.
not real. He just
Come
doing
on, Athena.
he just, he's
Oh, this is
just
so good.
doing this. It's just all part of the act, and eventually,
Mm.
you know
Mm.
what I mean? He gonna have to
Yeah.
take the mask off, girl, and like a year and a half later, it was still on.
It was.
It was
He was still
just
being
him.
consistently
It
him.
was
Wow.
just him. Girl, I was waiting for the mask to
You
come off.
said, when is this other shoe going to drop? When is
Yes.
it going to turn into the story that I have created in my mind about him?
Mm-hmm.
And it never did.
And it never did. It
Wow.
ne-
Wow.
Even to this day, it never
Mm-hmm.
did. It never did. And I
Wow.
know that I'm about to, like, jump ahead, but
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I learned in our counseling, is that situations and experiences, they only have the meaning that you put on it. So
Mm-hmm.
looking from my, through the pain, through the hurt, through the abandonment, through the trust issues, that's what I was looking at him through. So of course
Yeah. Yeah.
it didn't look real. It was like, this is a
Mm, mm, mm.
fraud.
Yeah, yeah, because when you look at it with that type of lens, you're not going to be able to see the jewel, the treasure, the good. You're going to see it from abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
At any point, he's going to abandon me. At some point, he's going to reject me. Like that's how you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so good. So how did the relationship, progress? From the friendship for a year and a half, you were hanging out with the group, and then it kind of blossomed into just the two of you. And then what happened after
You're gonna be like, what, Sean?
that?
Girl, one day at work,
Hmm.
I don't know, we were just, how you just walk around the office, and I was at his desk talking to him,
Hmm.
and he just looked up at me and was like, I like you for real. Like,
Mm. What? Sean? In real life, he said, "I like you in real life, like not
yeah,
the
he
play
was
play."
like even now, I still feel the same amount of giddiness about it. Like, he was
Wow.
literally just like, I like you for real. I never forget the look on
Mm.
his face, because he was sitting in a chair and I was like standing up over him a little bit. And he just looked up at
Hmm.
me and was like, Athena, I like you for real.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And then it was just,
Wow.
I mean, I would love to say that we rolled off into the sunset after that, but
Yeah, right.
that's not
Right.
the story. But that definitely is
Yeah.
where how we transition from like being friends into being, a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. And let me say, what you say, Mo, putting that man through that mess. It's not mess. It's the process that we go through. But
That Ari.
he did persevere. He persevered because that's a good man. He knew, he saw that she was worth it. He knew what he was going to get in the end. So
Mhm.
yeah, I know that's right. Okay, so so you talked about, is that when the two of you decided to make it official? Like when he said, I like you for
Well, we
real.
still, because up until that point, we weren't like intimate or anything. Like when I say we were really,
Okay.
really friends, like we were really true
Uh
to
huh.
life friends. So once he said
Okay.
that he liked me for real, it we like the dates turned into like we both were agreeing that it was dates. So he,
Okay.
he courted me for a very long time, and then just again one day, it was like a Saturday morning. We were in the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just like, I don't want you to talk to nobody else. Like, I want you to be my girl, just like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, it was just like that. It was just really, really simple,
Just
just
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And simple is beautiful. I tell you. He's like, look, I done made up my mind. I have thought about this, and I don't want you to be with nobody else. Like that's you. You're it for me. Like that.
That's exactly
I
how it
know that's
was.
right.
Look at
Yeah,
Jackie.
I love it. She said for a very, very long time, and quarter her friends too.
Girl,
I know that's right.
he
He
was
says I
putting
want to
in the
get her.
work, friends and
I know that's
everything.
right. I love it. I love it, Sean. That I got a greater respect. I already had respect for Sean, but just hearing all of this, I have greater level of respect
Hmm.
for him because he really went after what he wanted, and that's a beautiful thing. So did you have moments in the relationship when you thought that it wasn't going to work? Like, were there some moments where it's just like, nah, I don't think we're gonna last.
Yeah, because I had, like, just to go back to all of the trust issues and just like the patterns that I was used to in my relationships before.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I got really afraid, of where the relationship was going, or anytime he did something that I did not necessarily like or didn't
Mm-hmm.
sit with me well, I would just break up with him. Just like that.
Wow.
Like,
Really?
just like that. We would just break up.
Yeah.
Like, and it
Yeah.
was like a horrible pattern for that, probably went
Mm.
on for maybe like a year or two. And it was
Wow.
because like conflict resolution and those communication skills, I did not have
Hmm.
it. In my past
Yeah.
relationships, not even just with males, or not even just with them, with females, with people in my family, with my parents, like it would be like fight or flight. Like, you're not doing what I
Wow.
want you to do. And I guess I was kind of being manipulative too. Like, and that backfired me. I'm sure that we'll get to that part, but that backfired on me because anytime he would do anything, I would be like, I'm not putting up with this. Ah, blah blah blah
Wow.
blah. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, so
Wow.
we were in that like horrible cycle for a couple of years. I'm not even gonna lie. We
Mm-hmm.
were.
Wow. Wow. And how was he during those times? Was he just like very welcoming, when you came back, or like how was he?
Um, he, like, Sean's personality, he just always want me to be happy, and he just always want things to be cool. So he
Oh,
doesn't like conflict at all, or any type of
mhm.
confrontation, like him raising his voice or anything like that. It's just not even in
Yeah.
him to even
Mm-hmm.
go there with me. So
Mm-hmm.
he was just always like, just tell me what I got to do to make it right. Like, what do we have to do?
Yeah.
So, and even the craziest part is sometimes it wouldn't even be a situation of him welcoming me back. Once I calmed
Mm-hmm.
down, once I stopped being mad, I would call him and be like, I'm sorry. No, I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't saying sorry then. I was just like, you want me to cook you something to eat? You eat today. You know what I mean? Just something to break the
Yeah.
ice and to get him to come back over. And then we would
Yeah.
never talk about it. We would just
Mm-hmm.
make up, and then it'll just be the next day. It was horrible.
Wow.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was.
And just the fact that he endured through all that, because some guys would be like, look, I don't have this to do, I'm not going through this back and forth with you,
Mm-hmm.
but there was something about you, and something about him that made him just want to stick it out even through the ups and the downs of it. So that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. um so how, with all of that back and forth, how did you get to the point of knowing that this was the one for you and getting into engagement? Like, how in the world? Because it's not looking like that's
Yeah,
where it's headed,
you would have never, like, even now to this day, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
What's today's date? The 14th, the 13th. Like, you
The
could have
13th of June.
never ever you couldn't have like told me that this is where we were going to be. Like, I never
Yeah.
imagined that we were going to be here. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just I was just tired of being sad, and I started to
Mm-hmm.
realize that maybe it's not just him. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something
Mm-hmm.
else going on. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
I can't be in a relationship with my ex, with him, like, I wasn't really committed to doing the self work, but it was like
Mm-hmm.
little drops. Like, it was little seeds. Like, I
Yeah.
need to do the work. So
Mm-hmm.
one day I watched Ayanya Fix My Life, however you say it.
Come on, she will fix it.
Girl,
Yes, I
so
love
I
you.
watched her show with Evelyn. Like, this is when, like, it first
Mm-hmm.
rolled out. And
Mm-hmm.
she was talking to Evelyn in regards to her relationship with her father, and how those, it just trickled into her other relationships, and how the issues that she had
Yeah.
with her father. And I was just like, that's just me. Like, it's
Wow.
just me. And I realized,
Mm-hmm.
let me just go back. When I
Okay.
watched that show, me and Sean were on a break. We were like back to be
Okay.
friends. So this was
Okay.
probably like a year into, like, this was the longest break we had. So
Mm-hmm.
we was still, for the first few months when we broke up, we didn't really talk. But after a while, he was working his way back in. We were like starting to hang out like old times. And then I watched that
Mm-hmm.
show, and
Wow.
I realized that not only was I making him pay for the things that my exes did, I was also
Mm-hmm.
making him pay for the things that I felt like my dad did to me and my mom.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
I realized that I was pissed off with my dad. Like,
Mm. Mm.
pissed
Mm.
off. And
Yeah.
anybody that know me, like my dad, my sisters, and I, we have like a really close relationship, especially me and my dad, because I'm the oldest, and
Mhm.
I just couldn't even deal with being that upset with him. Like I think I was
Mm.
just suppressing it, and not really
Yeah.
dealing with it. And then when
Mhm.
Ayanya told Evelyn that she needed to forgive her dad,
Mm.
and because it was like I was coming into my womanhood, I knew what it felt
Yeah.
like to be a woman, to be in a relationship,
Yeah.
and I just felt like, how can my dad do this to my mom? Like, I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
He left us high and dry. So it made me feel
Mhm.
like that's where my trust issues were really lying. It wasn't with my ex. It started
Mhm.
like way before that.
Way before
Way
that,
before that.
and that's and that's what I want to point out too. I love what you're pointing out as far as your process is concerned. And a lot of times we look at the man and we look at our exes, but it really stems back to our
Mhm.
childhood, and the things that we saw, that we experienced. That's the root of a lot of our relationship challenges. And if we don't acknowledge that, if we're not aware of that,
Mhm.
if we don't look inward, then we're going to continue the cycle. We're going to continue to project it onto these guys, and they do it to us. But right now I'm talking about what we do to them.
Mhm.
But the projection continues, and then it's like we get lost in this cycle and we never deal with
We.
it. We never deal with how we feel about our fathers. We never deal with what our mother did to us. We just don't deal with that kind of stuff, and we wonder why we keep making the same choices, and it's because it's out of that pain, it's out of that hurt.
Mhm.
So I love what you're sharing.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that day, I was just like, if all it takes is for me to forgive my dad, to just be free, not
Mm-hmm.
even just to be in a relationship, but to not walk
Yeah.
around with this like baggage that I was not aware of. If all it takes
Mm-hmm.
is for
Mm-hmm.
me to just realizing and accepting the fact that my dad may have been a bad partner to my mom, a bad boyfriend or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but he did the best that he
Mm-hmm.
could as a dad.
Right.
So I just had
Yep.
to, differentiate between the two, like my dad as the boyfriend
Yes.
and my dad as the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And because as a child,
Yes.
it's really
Yes.
not, you know what I mean? It's nothing that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also had to
Mm-hmm.
realize that my parents, they're humans just like me. They were
Yeah.
35
Right.
years old before. And when my mom and my dad had me,
Mm-hmm.
they were really young. And I
Wow.
was thinking back to how childish I was when I was 20 years old,
Mm.
21 years old. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, and then you throw a
Mm-hmm.
newborn in the mix, it's just a
Right.
mess. So I
Right.
just had to
Right.
accept that my parents did the best that they could with what they had,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
forgave my dad. Like that day,
Yeah.
I was like boo-hoo crying. Me and Sean, we
Yeah.
had came from riding ATVs in Virginia that day, girl. We was covered
Mm-hmm.
covered in dirt and everything, and we were watching this show.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the next, like that night, we just got back together, and we've just been together ever
Wow.
since.
Ever since. So, would you say that that was a breakthrough moment for you to keep you from going, doing the back and forth? Like that was a pivotal moment
Hmm.
in yourself and in your relationship?
It
Okay.
allowed me
Wow.
to, because what I was doing was like building like this monster crazy
Yeah.
Mexico Donald Trump wall. Like nobody can get through. I don't want nobody getting
Yeah.
in. So when I let go and forgave my dad and released that, the
Mm-hmm.
wall just
Yeah.
dropped. So I was able
Mm-hmm.
to see
Man, that's
Sean
powerful.
for who and what he was in my life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to really, like feel like I deserve this kind of love. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
okay for somebody to
Mm-hmm.
love you and treat you right. And another thing is, just to go back to the childhood thing, like I can
Mm-hmm.
only imagine how chaotic it was in like our house, just like the drama
Yeah.
going back and forth. So
Mm-hmm.
to not have drama it was like weird to me too. So I had to also
Mm-hmm.
accept that there's another way of life. Like, you don't always have to be going through a phone. You don't always have to be trying to catch your man cheating on you. Like, it really is
Mm-hmm.
a such thing as like a drama-free relationship.
Athena! Oh my God, this is so good. I'm telling you, you are blessing my entire life because this is this is I don't even know how to put it into words, but your process, what you experienced, what you got out of just looking within yourself, and what that the revelations that you got from it and what you were able to see. Like you said, we are so used to a certain way of being in relationships, and like Rose said, it's no drama feels unfamiliar at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wait, so then we create the drama in our heads, and then we put it into the relationship, and the guys are like, what are you
Girl,
talking
I used
about?
to be
What are
in
you
here
doing?
arguing with myself
Yeah.
to the top of my lungs. And he would be looking at me like,
Yes.
are you done? Because, and that's like another
Yes.
thing. I came from a household where my mom screams, yells,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Sean
Yeah.
did not grow up in a household like that. Like, his mom is
Yeah.
calm, even killed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
arguing back with me, it's like not even in his makeup to even do it, on top of
Yeah.
men just not wanting to go back and forth with you. So, girl, like,
Mm-hmm.
I was in there arguing with myself. Arguing with myself.
And what I love about this, and I'm glad that's why we're talking about this. There are guys out here that want to treat women this very same way. I'm telling you, there are guys out here. So Athena is a living witness. I'm experiencing it. There are other women that I know who are experiencing this type of, relationships where it's healthy. There's communication.
Hmm?
It's no drama. It's just simple. It flows. It's organic. And so we have to check ourselves when we feel triggered, when we feel like, okay, I'm about to go there. Okay, let me just journal, let me write,
Hmm?
let me talk it out with a girlfriend or a close friend. Like, let me check myself before I bring all of this into a relationship, because it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to continue the patterns from old
Hmm?
relationships, but it starts with us looking at ourselves and like, you know what, I've been the constant here, so let me look at me. So I'm so glad that you're
And
sharing
it's
this.
and
Oh,
it's really self-awareness. It's a journey, and and
yeah.
even early on, like, I still had so much further to go in, like, my
Yeah.
self-awareness journey. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it takes so I realize, like, when things are scary, I'm like reluctant or hesitant, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to do the hard work and check
You
yourself.
do.
You have to hold
Yeah.
yourself accountable, because you can't
Mm-hmm.
count on anyone else to do it. And until you're ready to step up to the plate and go to bat for yourself, like, you
Yes.
even got to stand up to yourself. Like, I will not, no,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to let myself
Mm-hmm.
stop myself. My best friend, she
Come
was just,
on.
girl, she was just, one of my best friends was talking to me about that. Like, I would not take this crap from anybody else. So why should I take it from
Yes.
myself? Like,
I know that's right. Standing up to yourself and just saying, no, this is not how we're going to be. We're not going to continue this.
mm-hmm,
And like I love what Ro just said, putting yourself in timeout. Like, go in the corner. Come on, let's go over here and talk and figure out what's going on,
yeah,
so
even
that we
asking
can
yourself the
deal with this.
questions, like, is it really that serious, Tina? Like,
Yeah.
do you really
Yeah.
need to take it to a 10? Why are you really
Yeah.
upset? And that self
Right.
awareness, like, essentially
Mm-hmm.
helps improve the communication. Once
Yeah.
I can't, like, articulate how I'm feeling if I don't know how I feel and if I don't understand
Right.
it. So that's why it's
Yeah.
important to do the self work. And another thing, and you taught me this, I can't
Mm-hmm.
change anyone. I can't
Mm-hmm.
change Sean. So the only thing
Mm-hmm.
that I could do is pray for him. That's the first thing. And then
Yeah.
pray for myself that whatever it is that God wants me to learn from this situation, or whatever it is I'm supposed to
Mm-hmm.
get out of that, that I focus on
Yeah.
that and not on what he's doing wrong or what's going on that I don't like. And that takes
Yeah.
stepping up, you know? Like,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
so easy to be like, well, you did this and you did that and you
Yeah.
didn't help me do this
Mhm.
and I'm in here doing all of this
Yeah.
by myself. But
Mhm.
it's not always the person's fault. Even if it's not
Mm-mm.
your fault, totally you had something to do with it. And I've
Right.
tried to make it a habit of saying, even if I know I'm right, I I
Like I know
still
I was right,
ask
but I'm just saying.
myself, what could I
Yeah.
have done differently? Or did
Right.
I communicate it in a way that was easy for him to understand? Like, was I moving the
Mhm.
goalposts? Like, was I crystal clear on what I
Mhm.
wanted or with my expectations? Like, I just always try to check myself because it makes
Yeah.
it easier to forgive Sean. Or when I'm mad at him or
Ab-
he do something, it makes it easier for me to move on because I humble
Mhm.
myself. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
you did this, I did that, and
Mhm.
that's how we got here.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Now you can
Mhm.
apologize.
Now you can apologize.
Now you
Yes.
can, I'll
Yes.
go first, you know, but now
Yeah.
it's time to move on. So I just think self
Uh,
awareness is like super key.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, it's a process, it's a journey. You never get to the point where you finally got it, cuz for me, I'm still working through my process too,
Hmm.
cuz like you said, you feel like, you get to a place and then it's like you just don't know where your triggers are going to come from. Stuff comes up and it's like, okay, how am I going to deal with this when it comes up? When it happens, when I feel something that he may have done reminded you of something your dad did
Hmm.
or another guy, and then I'm treating him like that, and it's like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? Am I going to continue to treat him as if he's responsible for what
Yeah, because
happened?
he didn't do it. And
Hmm.
even when I check myself, I still do it with love. Like, because if you check
Yeah.
yourself, you might find yourself in, like now I feel like I'm not doing this well enough or I'm not good
Hmm.
enough. But I always
Yeah.
do it and I'm always gentle with myself. So let's
Yeah.
just say, like, even now, like, I would love to be like, we're just so perfect and this is just the most,
Hmm.
it's not.
Yeah.
We still are both struggling through things individually
Hmm.
and as a couple. But
Yeah.
I try to always remind myself, you were like this for 30 plus years of your life. You're not
Mm.
going to change overnight. You're not going to
Overnight.
get it
Yeah.
overnight. The only thing that I
Yeah.
could do is just try every single day,
Hmm.
to just
Yeah.
get better. And it's like, I've noticed that the the periods where, you have an argument, I'm pissed off, I'm in silent treatment mode,
Hmm.
it gets shorter and shorter. Like, I can get out of
Hmm.
my feelings faster. You know,
Yeah.
I'm learning
Yeah.
to get out of it faster.
And that's growth, and I love that, because like you said, we it's important for us to be gentle with ourselves. I know for me, for a long time, I used to have that critical voice, that critical voice that tells me, you're not good at this, you're not good enough, you can't do this right, and da, da, da. And so that's the voice that I listened to for a long time, and
Hmm.
it would beat me down. But now I'm learning how to be more gentle, be kind, and just, okay, it's okay, just talk to myself like I would want to talk to you, if you were
Hmm.
going through something. So I love that you're saying that, just learning how to do that with ourselves and how to celebrate our wins.
Hmm.
Like you said, it's getting shorter and shorter. So that's a win. It,
Hmm.
it, it wasn't five. It wasn't 5 days. It was 3 days this time. So it's just, to celebrate the
Girl,
small,
we
the
got a
small steps.
lifetime to go, so I just take whatever I can get when I can get it.
Yes, baby steps. This is a journey. It's a journey. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so good. Um, so what would you say has been the highlight of your marriage so far? Just with everything that you guys have gone through, the self-work that you have done, what has been the highlight?
Um, I would say just our relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
It's like through the trials, like you know how they say sickness and health, richer or
Yeah.
poor. Like, even though we've been married for a short amount of time, like, it's been like, I mean, it's not all bad, but we've had our fair shares of trials and we're still going through some of them. But
Mhm.
looking back, every single time we got through one storm, us together as a unit and individually, we got closer together, but
Mhm.
most importantly, we got closer with God. Like,
Wow.
even I know you remember when I was calling and talking to you about the Queen Esther program,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I just I knew that I knew that we were going to need something, and I don't want to get a divorce, and I
Mhm.
knew that I needed
Yeah.
to do the work, and my love for Sean and my commitment to our
Mhm.
relationship, it pushed me to seek out a
Mm.
relationship with God, like, to do the
Wow.
work and get to know him better.
Yeah.
My whole family, we grew
Mhm.
up in the
Mhm.
church, but when you get turn
Mhm.
into an adult, your relationship with God
Yeah.
changes. Like, things
Yes,
is
it
for
does.
real. Like,
Mhm. I know that's
things are
right. Like,
really
this is
real.
you
So
applying stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so I just that would be like the highlight, and how everyone, when you talk to
Mhm.
people that's married, they'll be like, it's so hard, girl. And I'm always mindful when people tell me or ask me how is marriage. I don't say like, duh. I mean, I almost cuss. It's hard. Like, no,
Yeah.
SHI,
Yeah.
like, it's hard. But
Right.
no one ever talks about how fulfilling it is. Like, and how,
Mm.
like, even when I'm sad, even when I'm going through my trials, like, Sean always makes sure my heart is on full. I may
Wow.
feel like down or disappointed about XYZ,
Yeah.
but I know I can count on God, and I know that I can count on my husband to love me through
I
whatever we're
know.
going through. And
Yes.
like, even though it's bad, all of the highs is the highlight. Like, that
Yeah.
love, that security, like,
Yeah.
him just looking at me and saying, it's the little things, like, I just want you to be happy. Like, I just want to do whatever I gotta do to make you happy. Like, those are the highlights. It's not like one single thing. It's like
Yeah.
the levels that we reach, together
I
in Christ. And that, like, it's like some really tough things. We, like, are really going through some tough things right now, but
Mhm.
I just know that when we come out of it, like, our love is going to be stronger, and it's going to be deeper. Our
Yeah.
bond is going to be stronger. Our relationship with Christ. So even like through the
Mhm.
tears, I still can look forward to like what's to come.
And that is so, so beautiful. And I love Jared, just him being a man himself and being able to recognize, good man. He was like, Sean is that dude. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I know that's right. Yeah. And he said, good to hear you guys are into each other and working well together. Yes. Come through, marriage. I know that's right. Come through.
You
Come
got to push
through.
through, okay?
I'm telling you. And Joanne says, and it feels so good when love wins, even through the ups and downs.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's why I wanted to call this hashtag love wins. Like, in the midst of it all, the ups, the downs, the fact that you're saying you can still see, the beauty in it. You can still see how you're gonna end up on the other side. Like that, love
Mhm.
wins.
Because you
It's
never really know someone until they're going through something bad. That's when someone's
yeah,
like the world deal comes out when they're going through something
yeah,
bad. And
yeah.
I honestly, like, with my head held high and confidently can say, no matter
Mhm,
what life brings,
mhm.
as long as I have my boo on my side, we're gonna get
Yeah.
through that thing, girl. Like, we're gonna
I
get through
know
it
that's
together.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
we might come out
Mhm.
crawling on our hands and knees,
Mhm.
but we're gonna be holding
Mhm.
hands. We're
I
gonna
know
get
that's
through it.
right.
And
Yeah.
just that comfort and that security, knowing that no
Yeah.
matter what happens, I know that there is nothing that could prevent him from just being there with me and us, and you know, me for him and us just going through it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It just sounds like it's making your bond even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like you holding on each other to each other for dear life, you know, and just like in going into it and approaching situations from a partnership perspective, from a team perspective. Like we're in this together. It's no individual, it's us, you know.
Mm-hmm. And just
Mm-hmm.
to like go back, like so many things that we learn, like I cannot ever thank you enough. You know, I'm always saying thank you, but just the tools that we learn from counseling, like it saved our
Mm-hmm.
marriage before because it was like those
Yeah.
seeds that you were planting, like the
Mm-hmm.
self-awareness journey, loving yourself so
Yeah.
that you're able to
Mm-hmm.
be lovable and
Yeah.
recognizing what's happening in front of you and not what
Yeah.
you're seeing through, you know, like
Right.
your pain and all of those
Mm-hmm.
things. Like,
Yeah.
girl, it saved our life. Like, it literally
Wow.
saved our
Wow.
marriage. Because even
Wow.
the tools, the communication skills that you gave us, like with us taking the
Mm-hmm.
love language
Yeah.
quizzes and everything, and even just
Mm-hmm.
recognizing like this is what I mean sometimes about doing the work. When it's something
Mm-hmm.
really, really important, me and Sean need to discuss or we need to talk about it. This type of person I am, I want to get like, let's get into action right now. Let's come up with a
Yeah.
plan. Let's get this thing moving. We got stuff to do
Yeah.
and places to be. But with
Yeah.
him and just men in general, they need time to process
Mm-hmm.
it. So I
Yeah.
remember I used to get so mad, like, why are you just sitting there not saying nothing? Like you're just looking at me. Do you not care? Do you not have nothing to say? Do you want me to do
Yeah.
it by myself? And
And you just like, let's go, let's
let's
get it.
go. And that was my issues because I'm just, you know, that's how I operate. I'm projecting it onto him. And then
Yeah.
this one day he just was like, no, that's not it. I just need some time to think about it. And I don't
Wow.
know what I think yet. I just need some time to think
I
about
know.
it.
He said, you're not finna push me. You're not gonna rush me for an answer if
Yes.
I don't even know.
But
No.
I'm thankful for that because the alternative to him telling me to wait is us talking through it while I'm anxious and while I'm pissed off. You know, while I'm just high strung. Like you can't even make a good decision like that. So just
Yeah.
like the tools of communication, like because you know how I mean, Sean is fake shy like me. He is shy in front of people that he don't, you know, really
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
like after that counseling, he like just opened completely up, like
Wow.
completely.
Wow.
And I was trying,
That's
girl. I don't. You got it done. I couldn't get it done. You
girl.
got it.
I just all I can say is thank you, God. Thank you, God. Between the gifts that He has given me and Him working in the midst and knowing what you guys needed and translating that, you know, I'm just grateful and to be able to see how you guys are using that and how it's really impacting your marriage. Like it's like, man, I'm grateful
Mhm.
that yeah, that God would do that for you and through me. So I'm whew.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So Jared wants to. He said, "Thank you. We need time to ponder it through to respond the best way." So just from a man's perspective, he's like, "Yeah, you know, we just they just need time to think about it,
Mhm.
and we, you know, us understanding that and respecting that about them." And just understanding how logical they
Mhm.
are, you know, and how strategic many of them are, and how they just got to think it through. And we need that balance, because a lot of times we're emotional and we just want to do stuff, and we're oftentimes acting off of our
Mhm.
emotions, and they bring the balance to us, like, wait, you know, let's think about this, or let's do it this way, or, you know, that contemplative side that we
Mhm.
need. So it's just really respecting and understanding each other. I think that
Yeah.
that is so key, so key. Okay, so just looking at the future,
Mhm.
when you look at 10 years from now, 20 years from now, where do you see yourselves in marriage?
I mean, just still loving on each other,
Mm-hmm.
still, you know, being best friends, like having
Mm-hmm.
you know, an even more awesome relationship with God and, you know, slaying our personal and, you know, like our marriage goals. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I just pray that we're just still living in God's will and we're doing
Yeah.
everything that, you know what I mean, that He will want us to
Mm-hmm.
be doing. But in 20,
Yeah.
10 or 20 years, I'm still going to be with this man, girl, still getting on his nerves.
No, that's right. I know that's right. I know
Still
that's
getting on
right.
his
Hashtag
nerves.
know thyself. Know thyself. I know that's right. And I love what Jacqueline said. She said, this relationship gives me hope. They love each other so well and have grown into each other together. That is beautiful. That's
Because
beautiful.
Jackie is one of my,
Mm-hmm.
one of my best friends, and she's like
Mm-hmm.
been there for from the very beginning. Like,
Mm-hmm.
cause again, Sean was like one of my first friends when I moved down here. So,
Wow.
I met Jackie not too long after. So she's
Mm-hmm.
definitely been there, and it's been a process. And no one could, like, again, no one could have ever told me that we would be this deep in love with each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's sickening. I'm not even
Wow.
gonna lie.
You said it's
It is
sickening. It don't
sickening.
make no sense.
It's
No, that's right.
sickening.
Yeah, yeah. So what words of encouragement would you give to those who just have lost belief and hope and trust in love? Like when and someone hearing your story and was like, I'll never find that. I'll never be able to experience that. What words of encouragement would you give to them?
I was just telling them that they need to do the work on themselves.
Mm,
Like,
mhm.
Jesus can send Jesus Jr. right across your path.
Not Jesus Junior.
Jesus
Wait.
Jr., okay? And if you're not ready for that love, if you're not ready to give it or receive it, it's really not going to matter. Like,
Wow.
you just always need to look inside yourself and do the work. Learn
Yeah.
yourself, get to know your triggers, know what ticks you off, know what you like
Yeah.
and what you don't. I mean, it's just literally doing the work because you can only
Yeah.
control what you can control, and that's yourself. You can't control how other
Hmm.
people act, no matter how much we want to believe it. You can't control anyone else. It's
Yeah.
only up to God. And in the meantime, while God is perfecting your partner or, working and molding them, you got to do the work because the worst thing is for God to send you your mate and you're not ready.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
worst because
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful that
Hmm.
God kept us together. I
Mm.
literally did everything that I could to break free
Hmm.
from him, and to break free
Wow.
from this relationship. And
Wow.
I'm just so thankful for the love, like, just everything that comes with Sean, his love for my
Yeah.
family, for my sisters, my brothers, my
Hmm.
friends, even like his family and their love for
Hmm.
me, and how, my parents still live in Pittsburgh. So it's just love is just winning all around. Like the way that
Mm.
his family
Hmm.
accepts me and my brother and my sisters, like it's just love, 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 love all the way around. And I'm just really, really thankful for it because it really, this whole experience and marriage and everything, like, it's making me a better
Hmm.
person. And
Mm.
in turn, I can be a better wife, a better daughter,
Hmm.
a better friend, because it's
Mm.
like, if you want to stay in this thing and be in it, you got to get
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be miserable. Now, I can deal
Yeah.
with some storms and some trials, but I don't want to live miserably every single
I
day.
know
That's
that's
just not an option for me. So,
yeah.
if I got to check myself, then I'm
Hmm.
just going to check myself. I'm just
I
going to do
know.
it.
Yes, yes, and that's what it's all about. And I love what Jerry says. He said you should share your story and experience in a workshop or a forum, because I feel like everything that you're sharing, if only you knew how impactful this is. Like this is stuff that people need to hear.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would be so such a blessing. Even those who are watching, it's been a blessing and just a source of hope for people. So I know that it can be an inspiration to other people. So yeah, I second that. I definitely feel like that could be, something that you could put out there. Even if it's the two of you, that would be wonderful. But just sharing your story on a bigger platform, that
Yeah,
would be
you
amazing.
just, I mean, when I say, I mean, you can ask Nefa, anybody who knew me, before I
Hmm.
moved. I'm
Hmm.
just like the person that I was before then, and now is just
Hmm.
completely night and day. And
Wow.
when I say like abusive relationship, verbal, physical,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
having a baby on, like it was
Wow.
bad. Like,
Wow.
and if I can come up out of it,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
not, and like I did give up several times, I gave up
Yeah.
on myself, but you
Hmm.
can't quit. Like you
Yeah.
have, even after you cry your tears, you get down on
Hmm.
yourself, you get sad about your circumstances. You just have to remember that you are not your circumstance. And
Yeah.
I just try to acknowledge that everything that's happening is for a reason.
Hmm.
And it's some, like,
Hmm.
I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to stay
Yeah.
in it. I don't,
No.
I don't want, I had enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
there, bought the t-shirt, bought the mug, bought the
Yeah.
keychain.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
done with it. So,
Yeah.
like you just got to push through. And I learned to not, I allow myself to feel it. If I'm sad, if I'm feeling
Hmm.
pain, I allow myself to feel it, but I don't
Yeah.
stay there. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
allow myself to get stuck in it, because you
Hmm.
told me this, the only way to get past it is to go through it. You
To
can't,
go through it.
you can't go around it.
I said some good stuff that the
Girl, when
Lord
I say you
told
were
to
showing out,
dang, I'm like, really? That was Lord, that was God
yes,
talking, I
you was
tell
dropping them jewels, and it's just like I just I just learned to face it, like to just
you.
face it,
Hmm.
even. And like I know we gotta go, but this is just the last thing I say. I
No,
tell
let's go ahead.
people all the time, like especially women, like in my circle, it is okay to cry.
Yes,
Like
yes.
you're not weak if you cry. You're not weak if you ask for help. It takes strength
Hmm.
to be vulnerable and say, I
Yes.
need help. It takes
Yep.
strength to be vulnerable and say, this is really hurting me. This is what I'm going
Hmm.
through. And it's like, you have to do the self care. You have to take care of yourself. And even with all of these,
Hmm.
celebrities killing themselves, like, you have to
Yeah.
make sure that your mental is okay. If you
Yes.
feel like you need a break, if you need a mental
Hmm.
day, you have to take
Yep.
it. Like whether
Take it. Yep.
you have to honor yourself and honor those feelings.
Hmm.
Like their feelings, they're gonna,
Hmm.
like they come and go. It's going
Yeah.
to pass, but you don't want to bury
Hmm.
that thing. Like if it's something that
Hmm.
you're avoiding, not going through, or if you're putting it
Hmm.
off, you just got to stand up and face it and know that you're not
Yeah.
facing it alone. God
Yeah.
is right there with you, and whatever you need, He's going to give it to you. But
Hmm.
you got to do the work, and you got to put through
Yeah.
the hard stuff, because
Yeah.
once you just go through it that one time, it's done. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You don't
Hmm.
gotta worry about it
Hmm.
coming back or coming up
Hmm.
later. Like, just do the work. That's all I
Yeah.
say is just,
Yeah.
yes, Joan, grow through it. Yes, that's all
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah. That's it. And while you're talking about doing the work, I want to put a plug in right here because doing the work is one of the things that I'm really passionate about. And I'm a part of an organization called Real Women, and Athena has been there
Which,
to
like,
Real
when
Women,
it was
and that's
started.
exactly, like, and that's what we do. We're a safe space for women to do real work on themselves. So if you're looking, like when she says do the work, if you're not sure what that means, please reach out to me, so that I can give you more information, or go to realwomenrock.org.
Yes.
Or if you need that one-on-one, I am the You Relationship Coach. I am so passionate. As you can hear, the things that were deposited into Athena and Sean, this is what I love to do. I love to help people love on themselves. So if you're looking for someone just to have one-on-one communication and just to journey with you through that process of you doing your work, send me a message as well, because I would love to work with you, because I love this kind of stuff. I love, hashtag love wins. I love when we win within ourselves with how we're treating ourselves. When we grow in self-acceptance, when we grow in self-love and self-awareness, like that's the stuff that I'm like, oh yes, so that's why I'm so grateful for your process and where you are and the things that you've learned, Athena. It's such a beauty to be able to see that, and it's such a joy. So I'm just excited to be able to witness it.
Yeah, even like outside of the couples counseling, like, there was times where I was calling you like boo-hoo crying, like
Mm-hmm.
can't
Yeah.
even get it out. You're like, what's wrong? Breathe. Like,
Yeah.
can't even get it
Yeah.
out. And I just want to tell everyone, like, you're so easy to talk to. You're never
Mm-hmm.
judgmental. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like you helped me step to the plate and you helped me to face those things. Like, even with the
Wow.
simple, it's like you never, how some people give like unsolicited advice. It's not even
Yeah.
that. It's like, well, Athena, why do you think you feel that way? Or what,
Yeah.
you just encourage
Yeah.
people to do like the critical thinking and to get to the bottom of it. And
Yeah.
like, I always hear your voice like in my head, you
Wow.
and Nefa. Like, I always,
Wow.
hear y'all telling me to keep on going, girl. Don't stop.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that you're crying. It's okay that you're
Yeah.
sad. Like, to
Mm-hmm.
just keep on going. And like, I really, really appreciate that. I really.
Wow, that is thank God. That's all I can say is thank you, God, for this gift for my sister Nefertaria, who is like my the Jonathan and David, like that's my partner, my soulmate, my sister. So I'm thankful that we're able to do this kind of work together, and that's your cousin. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
just being connected, all of us being connected together to help each other, because your story tonight is helping me. So I'm grateful that this is just not a one-sided situation, that we are helping and encouraging each other. So I thank you so much, Athena, for everything, for you just being open and honest with us so that we can get a glimpse of your story and see that hashtag love
Mm-hmm.
wins.
Especially
Because
self
it
love,
does.
girl. That
I
self
know that's
love
right.
opened up the
Yes.
doors to all the other
I'm
loves.
telling you. I'm telling you, and that's so important. And I love that you say that, and something that we can end on. If you're feeling hopeless about relationships, look at what's going on with the relationship with yourself, because it could be an indicator of what's really happening. If you see yourself in the same cycle, how are you loving on you? How are you
Mm-hmm.
treating you? And if you tap into that relationship first, it can change all of your external relationships, but it starts with you. A healthy relationship starts with you, your relationship with yourself. So self-love is so
Really
important, and I don't
important.
think we talk about it enough.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Really.
absolutely. It is so important. So thank you, Athena.
We
I
did
love you so much. We did it. I feel like we're gonna need a part two, because
it. Girl,
this is
call me,
good. Like,
okay?
yeah.
Call me and let me
I'm
know.
telling you. I'm telling you, we need some more of this stuff, because the work that you're doing, I feel like people really need to hear about it. So thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Yay. And blessings, like Jared said, blessings to you and Sean. Tell him I said
I
hello.
will, girl. He upstairs keeping them dogs quiet. I'm like, you better keep them upstairs.
Exactly. All right. Well, have
All
a good
right.
night, and I'll
Thanks,
be talking
boo.
to you
Bye,
soon.
everybody.
Bye. Thank y'all for watching.
Bye.
Bye.